right now I am joined by the head honcho of Shamrock FC, who is doing big things here in the Midwest, Jesse Finney. Jesse, how you doing here this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good. No worries at all because you're a busy man right now. I mean, you guys have already gotten a couple of fights in the bucket here for 2016, and now you got another big card here on March 12th at the River City Casino, Shamrock FC Mayhem. Let the people know why it's titled Mayhem and what kind of mayhem is going to come to the cage here on the 12th.
Well, I would say, first and foremost, yeah, we are very busy at this point. It's been a little crazy on the offices, that's for sure. Mayhem, I would say, is going to be complete mayhem because this will be 18 years of business we're going on, and this is probably the best card on paper we've ever put together. And I'm really looking forward to a few of the matchups, and even the undercard fights is going to be, it's just going to be incredible. So we're looking forward to it, and just keep your foot on the gas pedal. And like you touched on before, yes, we've already got 2 shows in the books for this year already, and we have a show at the Lumiere Casino, and it's a smaller show. It's more of our starter show, and that was probably one of our best starter shows we've ever had at Lumiere Casino back January 30th. And then we had an XFN we called Shamrock FC Extreme, where we do a mixed card of boxing, kickboxing, and MMA, and that was probably the best one we've had of those as well in probably 5 years. So we're on a little bit of a roll, so we got a lot of pressure on us at this point, and we just hope that this card on March 12th performs the way that it looks like on paper. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you got a lot of a very eclectic mix of fighters here on this Mayhem card. You have guys who've had over 10 fights. You've got guys who've had less than 5 fights. You have guys who are undefeated. What are your thoughts when you guys are getting the matchmaking prepared for bouts like this and for a card like this to kind of find an even ground to feature up and coming fighters and maybe veterans here in the area who also want to get back on a bigger platform?
Absolutely. And, we're trying to get back to, looking at how these matchups goes is, we always look at it first and foremost, good matchups for the fans, good matchup for the fighters, and what's going to be the best for everybody. But you can't make everybody happy at the same time. We try to do what we can, and it's been pretty successful so far, and we can only, hope to be as successful as we've been in the last 18 years. So, leading off is, our main event, which is Kevin Ingle, is a professional boxer, professional kickboxer. He's 4-0 in mixed martial arts. Fighting on a kid, and by the name of Kyle Kurtz, who's 5-1. Kyle's a 2-time Bellator veteran who's been on a tear lately. And, that's our main event that night. So you get 2 really up-and-comers at this point. Ingle's a veteran with boxing and kickboxing, and he's, like I said, he's only had 4 MMA fights, but he's been out for 18 months. And Kurtz is one of these kids that really, he just knows how to win. The kid is just grimy and tough and in your face, and that's exciting. So then we have Eric Irvin, who is I think he's Strike Force. I don't know if you call it Strike Force or not, but Bellator guy. Really tough guy, in your face at all times. And, same type of guy as in Josh Weston. Josh Weston was one of these guys that went 20-0 as an amateur. It's had a rough go as of late, going 4-4. And these guys are from the same small hometown, and there's no love lost between the two. So, we look at something like that, which is a great matchup because they're both stylistically the same type of fighters. We go down the card, we got Garrett Gross and Rashad Lovelace. Garrett Gross he's just one of these guys, just super tough guy at all times, and I just love to watch Garrett Gross fight. Of all the years I've been promoting and fighting myself, Garrett's always been one of my favorite guys because he just brings it. He brings it at all times, and then you got Rashad Lovelace, who's 2-0, and he's 2-0 in Bellator. So that's a young up and coming guy. So we got a lot of guys that looking like that, and we're excited. We're excited for this whole show, and we have 4 other pros in the card, and we have an amateur side of the card, which is Cortez Ramos. I don't know if you saw the spinning heel kick knockout. It's got like 1 million some views on YouTube. Fighting Arian Zeki for the 145 title and a 3-fight contract through Shamrock. So we got some great fights in the card. Once it's all said and done, on paper, this is definitely the best card we've ever put together. And now it just needs to go deliver. And then, like we were talking, get that card, and then the next weekend we'll go back. That's in St. Louis, and then we go back to Kansas City on the 19th, and just keep it rolling. So foot on the gas pedal. We gotta make things happen in March, and just keep it going.
Now, one thing I want to touch on in regards to the amateur bouts, with you guys having, pretty much with your amateur fighters, not only give they a chance to fight on the card, but, if they're successful and they win, they also get the opportunity to get a pro contract with you. Is that something that makes you a little bit more attractive to a lot more amateur fighters? Are you kind of seeing a lot more of, trainers maybe sliding people's names saying, hey, you need to take a look at this kid, see if you can get him on the card, because they want to get that shine and want to get an opportunity to kind of have something set and not just have to worry about a fight here and a fight there. They actually get a pro contract with Shamrock FC.
No, absolutely. And, the guys that, we do have brand new raw guys, very green guys in the amateur the ranks. That's few and far between. But then we have a lot of experienced guys that we really are taking an eye at and saying, hey, you know what, this is somebody we want to keep an eye on in the future. Let's sign him to a 3, 4, 5 fight contract coming out. Not many guys can get a 4 fight contract with an organization, and we do offer that. And that's something we pride ourselves on because we give a platform for the guys to go from one to the other. And, the guys that are fighting Sean Scott and, Cortez Ramos and Arian Ziki, these are guys that, we're offering 3 fight contracts to if they win the title. They are title holders, but once they have to defend it one time, we'll give them a 3 fight contract in the pros. And, it only sets the platform for them. And, what we try to do is we'll give them a 3 fight deal, and if they go 3-0, we'll try to move them on and get them higher in our rankings. And then we'll try to, quite possibly get them into a title contention with Shamrock. If they win the title with Shamrock, they receive a long-term deal with Bellator. So, the path is there for these guys, and it's just for them to follow it. It's up to them, and the deal with Bellator is if they win our title, they have to defend it one time, and then they'll give a long-term contract to Bellator. Quite possibly, they get a chance to go to UFC as well. That's on them. We don't have an agreement with UFC, but we do have an agreement with Bellator.
Now, I'm glad that you actually brought that one up because this is something I was definitely going to ask you about in regards to that Bellator contract. We saw, the great story, and I had an opportunity to talk to Rebecca Ruth. Rebecca Ruth is pure. If you need an example of how fighting for Shamrock FC can get you to the big stage, how happy were you seeing her perform? Not only the way she performed, because she looked dominant, but getting that win here at Bellator 150.
Oh no, I was ecstatic for her. Becky is the example of someone that came through our amateur ranks. She won our amateur titles, and we put her into the pros. She won our pro title. Then from the pros, moved on to Bellator. She's got a long-term deal with Bellator, and she's got a very good deal as well with Bellator. And I think that Becky could be a champion in Bellator by the end of this calendar year if she keeps doing what she's doing. And she works hard. We can only lay the path, right? Here's our path, and just go for it. And if you can win your fights and perform, then this is yours. And it's not many organizations can do that for them, and we're one of the few. And we're very proud of that. And we couldn't be prouder of Becky, the way she represented, the way she carries herself in and out of the cage, and the way she carries herself in the cages winning these fights, and the type of style she puts out there. We're not going for the guys that are going to be Division I wrestlers and go out there and just win and lay on people. We're not gonna. That's not what we're looking for. That's not what the UFC is looking for. It's not what Bellator's looking for. So, just keep. We're looking for people like Becky.
Well, absolutely. Like as you said, now you've got the fight here on the 12th here at River City Casino. We've got another card here on the 19th. How do you find time to keep your sanity? Because, like I've said, you already got 3 Shamrock events in the books here so far for this year. The 4th coming up, and the 5th right after that. And then we know you guys got a full schedule rolling throughout the spring and the summer. How do you personally keep your sanity trying to get everything organized and everything together as you guys are just keep on pumping out product and keep pumping out these events?
Well, ultimately it comes down to surrounding yourself with good people, and I'm the guy that gets all the credit here, but really ultimately I shouldn't be getting all the credit. It's the team that I surround myself with. We call ourselves a team. We don't call ourselves a staff, and that's truly the thing is it is 100% a team effort all the way around. And you know what? If you put the people in the right place, and they do their job, and we do our job, and all the way down to the people in the back of the house that don't get any credit, to the guys in the front of the house, to Rob Donaker, who's been with me from day one, and matchmaking, and Jeremy Johnson out there with that MMA show. our IT guys, our web guys, our marketing guys. Just it's all about surrounding yourself with a good team, and just keep moving forward. And we all see the big picture here. And hopefully in the big picture, I can bring everybody. My goal is to bring everybody along with us along the ride, and just keep going. And you know what? Just keep doing the right things, and the right things are going to fall in place for you. So I think that we just keep doing what we're doing here.
Absolutely. And if you can touch on the card you guys got here on the 19th, that'll actually be at the Ameristar Casino in Kansas City. What should the fans expect for that fight card? Because Kansas City is a fight town. We just don't get as much shine or as much big fights as other people, but these smaller fights and smaller cards always deliver and always bring something to the fans. So what can the fans expect from Shamrock FC here on the 19th?
Well, I tell you, it's kind of crazy because we've been there a little over 2 years now in Kansas City, and it's a tough market to crack. And now that we finally got into this and found our groove a little bit, I like to say, in Kansas City, things are definitely going in a very positive direction. We got Bobby Volker from Kansas City signed with us. We've got some good guys up there, and Kendrick Latchman's a superstar in the making, fighting Kevin Gray, which is these two is title contention pretty much. If one of these guys wins, we're going to definitely take a look at possibly moving these guys up for a title here very soon. Marcus Jackson, the guy that we have signed in Kansas City market. I love Kansas City. You know what? We invested into it for 2 years, and we were a little uneasy for the first year of what it was really going to take if we were going to really stay in that market. And we're there, and we're going to be there for a long time. So we're excited. The great venue, great setup. We are, like I say all the time, I think that, you say the top 5 organizations in the United States of America, and I think you have to say UFC and you have to say Bellator, and I think that, there's a lot of people out there saying who's number 3, and I don't know who number 3 is, and I would say that we're definitely in the top 5. I would hope that a lot of people would say that as well. For the quality of production we put out, the quality of fights we put out, the quality of the experience for the fans, and the fighters, and I think that we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and the Kansas City market has really stepped up to the plate in the last year and really shown us a lot of love and support, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Well, absolutely, and the fans can get all of this ticket information for all these cards here for this week, not this week, but here on the 12th, for March 12th at the River City Casino in St. Louis. Go to Shamrock Fighting Championships or shamrockfc.com to get ticket information, as well as the card here on March 19th. And if you missed the card here on the 12th in St. Louis, well, Shamrock will be back at it here in April as well. I mean, these guys literally put on events all the time, bringing out young fighters, veteran fighters, and just putting on good shows, man. And that's what you guys do. And the quality is in your product. And we definitely, as MMA media, see that, and we appreciate that. And you can definitely tell when the fighters we talk to who are part of your organization, and in this case with Rebecca Ruth, who was formerly part of your organization, how much they appreciate everything you guys do and how well you treat the fighters and opportunities you actually are presenting to them.
Well, I appreciate that, and obviously, we appreciate them as well. I was a former fighter, so I know how guys want to be treated and girls want to be treated. It's the little things that mean the most to the fighters, and you can't forget where you came from. And I've been blessed enough to be a promoter and a manager, and all the way down to a fighter, to trainers, to whatever. So I've seen every angle of the sport, not every angle. I don't think you ever see every, but I've seen everybody's how they've been treated, and I just know that how I would want to be treated as a fighter, or as a manager, or as a trainer, or whatever it may be. And we just try to pass it along all the way around. So you can always check us out on ShamrockFC.com for the night of the fights. We charge $11.99 for the fights. We're going to put anywhere from 12 to 14 fights on per night, and I think for $12 on a Saturday night, you're not going to be more entertained.
Absolutely not. That's a hell of a good deal there. Again, ShamrockFC.com, and as well, let the fans know where they can follow Shamrock FC on social media.
You know what? The best way to get a hold of me is on Facebook, on Twitter. I don't really know my Twitter handle. Guys help me out with all that, Brian. But on Facebook, you can always check us out at ShamrockFC.com, Shamrock FC. And just please just stay in touch with me as much as you can, and I love to interact with the fans.
Well, absolutely. Well, Jesse, we appreciate you taking out time with us again, man. You've got a lot on your plate, a lot more fight cards to come here there in 2016. Best of luck, and we appreciate you taking out the time again and keep putting out those good fights, man.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate all you guys do in the media. Please just spread the good word, and you guys continue to do what you're doing. Thank you very much.
No worries. You guys just continue doing what you're doing and bringing out those great cards and bringing us new stars of the future there in the organization. So, again, Jesse Finney, we appreciate you taking the time here on Punch to the Face.
Thank you very much.